I was working on this here bag for ages, and now that I finally have it finished, I'm using it all the time, so I'm walking you through how I made it. The bag is crocheted in 3 round granny squares. The colors don't create any sequence except that the center of each square is the same, lime green. I have crocheted them together in the last round, join as you go, and they are used diagonally. That means that you need half pieces, triangles, at the top and bottom. The yarn is mainly bamboo with some cotton. Bamboo shows all colors beautifully. I'm linking a video tutorial about the basic granny square and about the join as you go technique. At the end of this here video, I'm showing how you do a triangle and attach it directly to those dents at the top and bottom of the bag. The bag is lined and has a zip. The lining keeps it from stretching, so you are not limited in what you put in it. And I like to have a zip, so I don't need to watch so much, especially in crowds. This shows the stage when I had all the squares done. This is the top of the bag where the handles, lining and zip will be attached to. I decided to make the bag a bit more spacious by adding a separate single crochet bottom. That piece is the width of one triangle piece. I crocheted it separately and then crocheted it in place with single crochets from the outside. I made the handles with granny stitches around a long chain. To have a sturdy chain, I used an I-cord chain. See the description for a link to a longer video about that chain. But you could of course use a normal chain too. The straps need to go at least 10 centimeters or 4 inches over the bag to be strong enough. Mine are even a bit more than that. I crocheted 2 rounds around the chain, and it's important to line the straps too. They stretch the most. Measure a piece of non-stretchy fabric. If the fabric might shrink, wash it first, and remember to leave enough for the seams. Then cut out also a piece for the bottom of the bag. If you want a pocket, that needs to be done first. Sew those together into the same shape as the bag. I used a machine, but if you don't have one, you can sew by hand. Then cut fabric to the size of each strap, again remembering the seam allowance. It is easier to sew if you first iron the seams. If you want a zip, pin it between the lining and the crochet bag, and then sew that. Lastly, attach the straps well. This has been showing you the basics of how I made the bag, not an actual tutorial, but here at the end, a tutorial about crocheting those triangles and joining them to the rest of the bag as you go. I'm showing how I have been making these half pieces or triangles that you always need if you are attaching the squares diagonally like this here. This is nearly done now, so like this here, all the half pieces are done, but there's a couple missing here still. So I'll make one for here. And as I mentioned, all the centers are this here, lime I suppose. And then I'll have these 2 colors as well. Remember that if the tutorial is going too fast or too slow, it's easy to change the speed in the settings. I'm starting these with a loose slip knot always. I've done that with all the squares. So a slip knot but not tightening it at this stage, and this counts as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, chaining 4 to start, and then closing it into a ring. Chain 3. For here I'm doing 4, the chains plus 3 double crochets just because it works better if it's slightly bigger here. And then chain 1. So I have always chained 1 in the corners and not chained at all otherwise. And then 4 double crochets. And for changing the color, I'm leaving the last one, 3, 4, unfinished for the next color. Then I'm taking the gray and pulling that through like that there, and then chaining 3, turn, and 2 double crochets between the first and the second stitch there. That was the reason I wanted 4 to start with, but here I will only do 3. There, then no chain, and jump to that there sort of corner, the loop, chain loop, and 3 there, chain 1, 1, so 3 double crochets here, again no chain, and then skip in between the chain we started with and the first double crochet there, and 3 double crochets there. And now what I have been doing there, I mean, I don't normally turn the opposite direction in granny squares. I know some people do it. I don't like to see the back side of stitches, so like here we do have them, but to avoid to have a second row of stitches on the wrong side, I'm cutting the yarn here and finishing it off like that, and then starting again from the same side in here. So that's my last color. I may need to tighten these a bit and then insert the hook in between the first 2 there. And I like to, at this stage, use the both yarns for this to make it secure. 1 stitch and then 2 and 3. And now we are taking the where it's going to go. So it will go in here. So I'm attaching it at this stage, and here's the corner, you know, here's the corner. It has to go from here to there to there. So I'm taking this here bit and making a single crochet in that there. So that attached it to this main body, and then 2 more double crochets into that there same space, trying to keep it sharpened to what I'm making and not to the background. And then without any chains, skip to the first space there and a single crochet there, and then straight away to the first gap in this little piece we are working on. There, and then again jump to that main piece, next space, single crochet, and now into the corner of our little thing. Three double crochets, and now I normally chain 1 before going there, but to the corner, but not chaining then after it. So here's there's already 3 pieces joined there, this, that, and that, so we have to go into the same, insert the hook there, single crochet. Although I noticed I've been making this over a long period of time, that I have been using as mixed slip stitches and single crochets in these corners, but either. And then 3 on the other side, and we do this side the same as the other side. So now I'm taking the other piece there and attaching it directly to that there. And then there's one more on this side. Again to the other piece, attaching it there, and then going in between the last 2 stitches at the small piece. And 3 double crochets there, and then we attach it, and then that's it done. So that's there, and now the corner there, and a single crochet there, and I always make the extra chain before cutting the yarn so it becomes more secure. And there. So here we are. And then I'll just do the same for this missing piece here. Now that you know how to make the bag, I hope that you will enjoy making one. Till next time.